If you're not vlogging because you think your life isn't that interesting, then take it from me. I've seen my face every day since I was born, yet everyone here in China still stares at it. So obviously to others, there's something to look at. I just wanted to quickly talk about the importance of vlogging, especially in today's time. There's so many good platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and yes, I think in that order, which are completely free libraries to store your entire life, but you have to film it. So I'm gonna help you figure out the why and the how, but not here because they're doing construction and I can't even hear myself think. It's important to remember that you only have one life, and as you get older, you are reminded of that. But while you're still young, it's not really something you think about. I turned 25 5 days ago, and it's been the first time where I've looked at my age and I'm like, time is moving. And that in itself is something that is extremely relatable. And relatability is the most important thing. And if you think about it, not many people can relate to a crazy life. It's what you consider boring to be what most people relate to. So reframe it in your mind that your life is not boring, it's just relatable. And as someone who works in social media, trust me, relatability is everything. That's what drives comments, likes, and all sorts of engagement. My food just delivered, so let's go pick it up. If you've seen The Office, then you definitely know the quote from Andy Bernard where it says, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you left them." Now, what he means by that is the fact that you're going through everyday life and it kind of just seems basic because it's your everyday life. But when you look back, it was amazing. So if you film your everyday life, you'll film a bunch of amazing things. There's always so much nature here in China. Nice. So make sure you start filming. What the fuck? In China, there's always a bunch of facial recognition. That's how you get into your apartment. If you know what you're gonna do that day, base the video around that. A lot of people don't end up finishing their YouTube videos or just not making the video at all because they just start filming, but they don't really know what the story is. Find something you're doing that day and make it about that. Or find something you want to talk about and make it about that. So you can film your entire day while you're talking about that thing. Hope that makes sense. Now, there might be some reasons why you're like, all right, I don't want to film myself. One, you're afraid of what other people are going to think while you're filming. You're afraid of what other people are going to think once they watch your videos, especially people you know, and or you just don't know how to do it. Now for the first part, yes, that is I think the hardest part of this entire process, and that is just being comfortable filming yourself in public. And for this, I recommend using a very simple filming setup, which for most people is their phone. Everyone has their phone on them and almost everyone is taking photos or videos on your phone, so you can be very chill, very inconspicuous filming your life with your phone. Most modern day phones shoot amazing quality video, so you're going to be completely fine quality wise. I have been doing this long enough, so for me, I am no longer bothered by people watching me film. It's really common for me to just set up my camera somewhere and people will look, but for the most part, they just take a glance and move on with their lives. And that's saying a lot because I live here in China, and as a foreigner, in general, just get looked at a lot. You kind of get over it and you realize most people do not care. And you also got to remember that you're not doing it for them, you're doing this for yourself. In terms of what are people gonna think when they find my videos, I think this is something that most people will just grow out of. Unless you're filming yourself doing something completely illegal, then you're gonna be completely fine. Everyone who's judging someone else's content because they're like, oh, that's cringe, you're making content and you know, you're not even successful. All those people are extremely insecure, and a lot of them just regret not having the courage to actually do this. I'm eating a pork, rice, vegetable combination thing, super good. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it's called. I just order things here and I just eat them, and 7 out of 10 times it's really good. I've been telling people since I started making YouTube videos that they should start a YouTube channel, and a lot of people actually have started, but they just didn't stick with it. But I'll say, out of everything I've accumulated over the years, the content I've made is probably my favorite thing. It's something that I can always go back on, always look at, and just remember a moment. It's like having tattoos. Tattoos are those things that when you look at them, they remind you of a period of time, and hopefully you got the tattoo for a good reason. Every tattoo I have marks a moment in my life, and at the end of the day, I think memories are the most important thing. So good. So for the last part now, how do you actually film them? Forgive me, huh? It's just super good. What I recommend is using whatever camera setup is easiest for you. I've owned so many cameras because I also made content for companies and all that. And I will say, at the end of the day, my favorite camera has nothing to do with Sony, Canon, Red, whatever. It's the one that's easiest to use. So for the most part, yes, shooting on your phone, as I said before, is amazing. If you want an actual camera, my last video was on a camera I recommend for those who want a really professional look, kind of like this one. That is the Sony a6700. But even simpler than that, I think I would recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a stabilized video camera. It shoots amazing 4K video, and it's in a really small setup. And the reason you want it to be really easy to use is because you want to actually use it. I've had camera setups that were really big and bulky, or that were just a bit too complicated to use, and I never actually wanted to use it, which defeats this whole purpose because you're trying to document as much as possible. So get one of those cameras that are really easy to use. Find whatever lens you think is easy. Don't deep the gear too much. Gear matters, yes, but that's something you'll look into a little bit later. What matters the most is that you're filming almost everything. Make sure you have a good quality microphone so you have good audio, because video with bad audio sounds horrible and it's just a horrible experience. The next thing is the editing portion. I know a lot of people are intimidated by editing because it takes a long time, and it does, especially long form content. So for the most part, I would recommend starting with short form content. Shooting for TikTok, shooting for Reels, shooting for Shorts. Learning to do these well will help you learn the basics of storytelling, will help you learn the basics of a video timeline. You need to make many videos. You need to go through those reps to get better in general at handling video from a storytelling standpoint as well as a technical standpoint. But let's say you know how to edit. You just don't have the time, or it just takes too much out of you. Then I highly recommend CapCut Pro. I just started using it. I've been using Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve since I was 14 years old. But the AI features in CapCut Pro, and I know you gotta pay for $20 a month, but those features save me so much time. The transcribing of your video clips so that you can edit based off of the words you say, cutting out ums and ahs and removing blank spaces, and just all that AI editing makes the process so much faster. So if that's something that's holding you back, then definitely consider an AI editing software. If not, it's just kind of one of those things that you can do while you're watching Netflix or casually listening to music. It's a little time consuming, I do understand that, but you are also learning a skill that is very valuable. I've gotten a lot of job experiences through the years just because I knew how to edit. And trust me, in the long term, this is going to be the best thing for you. Ever since I moved to China and my girlfriend moved here with me, I've decided, I'm going to film as much as possible. This YouTube channel has transformed from this camera gear, editing, technical photography, videography channel to me documenting my life with the tools that I talk about. Now I still do reviews. I guess my last video was actually a review, but in the long term, I never look back on a video of me talking about a camera. I always look back on my vlogs. So start. It's not too saturated. Success can come if you're consistent, and you'll have the most beautiful diary you could ever write. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.